That's really interesting what you said about these integrated workflows. And, can you tell us, for example, that as many as you could remember, what are the 20 things that happen when your tenant moves in?
Oh, I wish I could pull it up, but I've actually delivered. I used to do some presentations on technology for people that want to keep their day job, right, of the tools you can use. And one of them is I would just pop up what our move-in workflow looks like. And the entire slide is just filled with steps, right? And the whole point is to look overwhelming. But the reason is because it doesn't matter how small it is, right? If it could be missed, I want it on there. So it isn't that you're doing a whole lot of magic, right? But, everything from the keys, right? If we're doing a turn, right, there's three things in there, right? There's a move out, there's a turn, and there's a move in. And so making sure you efficiently do all that in there, that you get all the inspections done, that maintenance is scheduled, that everything is done from making copies of keys if you need them, to marking where the keys are, to, again, verifying rental licenses, to, just the basics of scheduling all this. And especially once you scale, right? I always say you can do a whole lot of stuff. If your goal is just to be a mom and pop, you don't need a lot of these tools because the knowledge will be in your head. It's the first day it has to be somewhere other than your head, that if that's the way you ran things, you're going to struggle, right? Because no one will know how to do anything. The idea for us to document workflows means I can bring someone in. It makes us scalable. It means if Julie, I don't have a Julie, so I made up a name, left us, that we wouldn't not know what to do because everything's in Julie's head, right? So once you're trying to be, there's a reason a McDonald's is successful. You might hate their food, right? But I've been to McDonald's in several countries of the world, and it's all the same. You only get that level of consistency, not from great employees, because let's face it, McDonald's not known probably for the highest quality employees, right? But it's their systems and processes that are so well defined you can't mess it up. Yeah. And that's the idea. So the specifics of what they are is funny, because even before I came here, I'm working with one of my assistant property managers, because we redo them constantly. Every time you make a mistake or something doesn't go right, you go back and edit it. And that's, again, part of the experience, right? After 12 years of making mistakes, right, we get it down pretty good. But we're still making changes all the time. But the what is just everything you could think of that you could get wrong, from signing that lease to filling out the right boxes in that lease, to saving that lease, for us to Google Drive, to archiving it where it belongs, to making sure it's shared with the resident. Just think of every tiny step. Each one's a click box, and we can then put metrics against it, right? It should take this long. It took this long, and you can improve. And that for us, we have to balance customer service with efficiency, right? Because owners don't want to pay us all their money, right? And I don't blame them, right? If you spend $1 million on a property, you don't want to put all that profit back into us so we can have just billions of employees doing every little thing. So we have to be incredibly efficient.
Yeah. That list is so important, even beyond those people that want to scale up, because what happens when you pass away prematurely,
right,
and you're left to your wife or your spouse and all the heirs, very often that transition period can be really confusing. I mean, not to mention all the emotional stuff that's going on, but if the business is suddenly going sideways because nobody knows where the keys are,
right,
where the leases are, who to call for what, it can be a complete mess.
Oh yeah, I like the prime example, because I've been through it. It's every time you get handed a bank-owned property, right? Because you were given nothing except a box of keys. Good luck, right? You don't even know where the leases are, or if you have any. There's zero process. The residents don't know what to expect, and it is chaos for a long time. So you're right. I always use the example that mom and pop is less important, but you're right. What if that the hit by a bus thing, right? Example you always got to use in a business. What happens if I get hit by a bus? It's fine, right? If my own investments, if I were gone, my wife is not involved in the company, but it wouldn't matter, right? It's all there. The process is there. It's documented. And you're right. It's very important for a lot of reasons.
Want to hear more on this topic? Click the link below for the full episode of Maximizing Your Property Value.